and legacy of Dr. King with the 43rd Annual City Celebration at the Memorial Hall. The message will be, "The Dream, It Starts With Me," and it will be presented by Pastor Debleaire K. Snell, Speaker Director of Breath of Life Ministries.
I'm Reverend Tony Carter Jr. I serve as the General Chair of the MAIIL Committee. I'm also the pastor of the Salem Missionary Baptist Church, where I've been honored to serve for the last 22 years. Now our Honorable Mayor Tyrone Garner, has a proclamation.
And justice and truth and all those things that make Martin Luther King's Day really something special for all of us. As your mayor here in Kansas City, Kansas, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize some of those.
This is a necessary work, that this occasion is needful in our time, and we give thanks to you. And then we want to just give due honor to the Honorable Tyrone Garner, your mayor, all of our city officials, all of our commissioners, our police representatives, our military representatives. Can we put our hands together in a very affirming way? I want to say it to those who lead churches, to those who lead government, to those that lead government rallies. There is something needful. We are noticeably absent during the mundane and boring work, but historical figures challenge the culture. They change the culture. They don't adapt to the culture, but they make a generational change for years and years to come. And each and every one of us, regardless of what our denominational beliefs, regardless of the color of our skin, regardless of what our upbringing or experience may be, we've got to decide whether we're going to be historical figures or historical footnotes. The mission can go forward because we are connected to the same God. The dream starts with me. And see, the mistake we make when we reference the speech that Dr. King made is maybe because he used the possessive language when he says, "I have a dream," is to think that the dream was solely the intellectual property of the one who shared it. Okay. How many of us understand that vision doesn't belong to the visionary? She says, "Yes, sir, when it gets this bad, sometimes I would get a little nervous." But she says, "I've been flying with this pilot so long that I don't get nervous because of turbulence, because I've seen him bring us through worse." I just need to know, do I have 8 folk that have been flying with Jesus so long that you don't get nervous because of turbulence? Because you've seen God bring you through much worse. And then Saul was the next man up. And then after him, David was the next man up. And after him, Solomon was the next man up. And then about 40 generations after Solomon, God raised up another man. They called him Emmanuel, which means God with us. Some called him the Everlasting Father. Some called him the Prince of Peace. Some called him the Great I Am. Some called him the Lily of the Valley. Some call him the Bright and Morning Star. I just call him Jesus, for he would save his people from their sins. So when Jesus went down, the devil didn't think he would see him again. But guess what? After Jesus died, Jesus was the next man up. I said, ask me how I know he lives. No, ask me how I know he lives. Ask me how I know he lives. Because he lives within my heart. Can you praise him that he's the next man up and that he's coming again to save us from this world?
Because this is how we learn to collaborate, to be able to work together to fulfill the dream and make our world, our country, and even here in the state of Kansas, a better place to be able to live and to prepare for the next generation where we all can work together and not be judged by the color of our skin, but by the content of our territory.
That talked about people not having your dreams. When you have a dream, everybody might not share it, and it might not be realized until after you're gone. And so his message was just powerful, very penetrating to each person's heart and mind.
It brings us together, and it brings our community together, which is what we're trying to go for. And I think it would, it would make Dr. Martin Luther King proud.
I think it's something positive when we're moving together for the purpose of unity and equality. I would love to see it continue.
And I'm going to say to my young brothers and sisters, don't get jaded by what you see. Don't get jaded by the hypocrisy of the older folk. Don't get discouraged by how slow things change. Because if God allowed another generation to pass, it's because God has a next man and a next woman to step up and finish the race and push us all the way to the land of Canaan.